Shalom, everyone. This is Chris Shoemaker, also known as Yehuda Ben Shomer, and welcome to the Daily Drosh. Today's Daily Drosh is taken from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 27 and 28, and I'm going to be reading from the Jerusalem Bible translation. And it reads, "Do not refuse a kindness to anyone who begs it, if it is in your power to perform it. Do not say to your neighbor, 'Go away, come another time, I'll give it to you tomorrow,' if you can do it now." This proverb reminds me of two uh, stories in the Brit Hadesha in the New Testament. The first of which is the story of the Good Samaritan, where a Jewish man is traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he's met by a couple of bandits who beat him half dead and strip him naked and steal all his stuff and goes away and leaves him half dead. And there is a priest and a Levite that see him, and instead of helping him, they cross over on the other side of the street and act like they don't see him. Now, these are men of God. These are God's priests. And yet they won't help this fellow brother, this fellow Jew? What's wrong with them? Well, I think in their mind, they're equating the service of the priesthood, the service of the temple, as more important than helping their fellow human being, because most likely they were on their way to perform some ritual or some sacrifice or some duty that they have as being Levitical priests. And if they were to help this half-dead, beat-up, bleeding Jewish brother of theirs, they would have become ritually impure, ritually unclean, and they would not be able to perform their Levitical priestly duties. So out of fear of becoming contaminated and becoming ritually impure and unclean, so as not to be able to participate in temple service, they said, well, it's more important to serve God in the temple than it is to help this person. They got it all backwards. God wouldn't have cared if they would have had to, ritually bathe and wait for a whole day before they could become clean again to fulfill their duties. Life over law. This has always been a Hebraic biblical principle. No matter what commandments that God has given, if a person's life is in danger, you are permitted to break God's laws in order to save a life. Yeshua even brought this out when he was preaching in the synagogue. When he healed this man with the withered hand, they were all saying, "Oh my gosh, you healed somebody on the Sabbath. That's performing work." He says, "Whoa, wait a second. Isn't saving a life more important than worrying about if I worked or not?" He says, if any of you had an animal, a farm animal, that fell into a hole or a ditch on the Sabbath day, where Sabbath is, there's no work permitted, wouldn't you nonetheless take this sheep out of the pit so it wouldn't die? You would break the Sabbath in order to save the life of that farm animal. How much more important is a human being than a farm animal? So that's what I think of. I also think of the parable that Yeshua told, where it says that um, a guy knocks on the door of his neighbor wanting a loaf of bread, and the guy says, "No, no, go away. It's nighttime. The door's locked, and me, my wife, and my kids were all in bed. Come back tomorrow. Don't bother me." But it said this guy kept knocking, and not because the guy wanted to help him or wanted to help his brothers, just because he was sick and tired of this guy knocking on his door and annoying him. And he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna give the guy what he wants, so he'll go away, so I can get some peace and quiet." So it's our motivation, why we help other people. So I'm sure that we go throughout our day, we're running errands, we're on a tight time schedule, we have deadlines to meet at work, and people come to us wanting help, and we huff and puff and get annoyed and roll our eyes because this person is interrupting our schedule, the things that are important to us, and wants us to help them. No, that's not biblical. We need to check our attitude at the door, and we need to remember this verse. It says, "Do not refuse a kindness to anyone who begs it." Please, I need your help. Look, if you were in that person's shoes, you would want them to help you. If it is in your power to perform it, do not say to your neighbor, "Go away, come back another time, I will give it to you tomorrow," if you can do it now. Most of the time when somebody asks for help, it only takes a few minutes, a few seconds. It's not going to throw your schedule off that greatly. You can make up lost time somewhere else. It's more important to help somebody. That's a way that you show love. That's the way you show Christ's love, Messiah's love to somebody else, is by helping them. So today, if somebody stops you and you're in a hustle bustle rush, maybe that's God's sign to you to say, "Hey, slow down, take it easy. Remember your neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love them. The way you love them is going to show my love towards them. So stop and help them, when they ask for it. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Shalom and Shavua Tov. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press the like button as well as the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and the notification bell that'll let you know every time I make a new video. And don't forget to share this with a friend. Also, visit our website at abrahamsdescendants.com. Thanks. Shalom.